All right, guys. I mentioned that I would make a little video of me destroying my sculpt, because that could happen. It's happened before. But here's the thing: if you could do it once, you could do it again. So you've always got to take that into consideration, even though there is no undo button on physical artwork like this. But again, for me, I'm really trying to nail the lightness here, and I feel like that in order to do it justice, I got to do it right. So in order to do it right, this ear has got to go backwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here, and I sort of try to find a wrinkle. You really can't see that. Let's see. Like, kind of like a nice place where there might already be a line, and follow that around. Now, when we get to here, obviously, I'm going to have to do some blending, which again with clay is not such a big deal. Come back here. Boy, that is a lot of clay in there. My knife isn't quite sharp enough or deep enough to make that cut. And I'm just giving myself some extra room to kind of blend back into what we've got here. I'll come back underneath this earlobe. Okay, gosh, it's deep. Let's see. All right, it's coming apart. So what I need to do now is find, you know what, let's go with this guy. This is a much... There we go. Now you're talking. A little palette knife here. And again, I don't know if you can see, but, some of the clay's coming apart there at the top of the ear. Not a big deal. Holy moly. This is also the most clay I've ever used in a sculpture. I used all the clay on this guy that I used on Amy, which was also the clay that I used on Michael and Ed, plus an additional 15 pounds of clay. Because I started with the Alana head, because I didn't want Ed's anatomy to really over-dictate this sculpture, even though Alana did to a degree. If I were to do this again, I would do one of two things. Either I would build my own armature, per recommendation of Marshall Bean, and I would build my own armature, or I would really do my sculpt more like what they did in the movie, which was literally this head would have been like that, and I would have sculpted it with the snout up here and the back of the head here, so that this ridge here in the back wouldn't be so pronounced, because this is the back of Alana's hair. Now, I do know that when I put hair on this guy, that's going to work itself out. So I in fact actually did this process with the entire face at one point, and moved it around at least twice. But if I had to do it again, I would have put it even further up, and I would have sculpted it like this with the neck. But when I put my column for the foam, I would have put it in more of an angle, so that it would have brought the snout down, so that effectively, the sculpture would have sat like this on the post, like this. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to this ear. I'm stalling. That's what I'm doing. All right. Because look, there's no reason to throw the baby out with the bathwater. This ear is a really good start, right? So there's no reason to completely redo this ear, right? So let's probably, actually, on second thought, probably shouldn't have cut so deep. Look at how deep that clay is there, holy moly. But what I'm gonna do is, it was here, right? I'm gonna move it back to about there. And see how that elongates the face? That's going to be much better. So this is going to be totally worth it. Yeah, so yeah, let me Let me move it back, and then when I'm done, and like, you know, if you're like, well, I'm going to see how you do it. I don't know that you want to sit here for 20 minutes with me trying to figure out what in the world how am I going to get myself out of this mess? No, basically what I'll do is I'll make the hole a little bigger. I'll move this down. I'll slide this in. I'll blend this back into these sort of lines, these sort of ropey lines. The nice thing about this kind of sculpting with worms is that I can sort of worm my way back into the sculpture there, and then I will fill in the gap here. I'll continue these forms, and then when I put my wrinkles and things back in there, my texture, you'll never know that it was moved, with the exception that it's going to look much better. So yeah, when I'm done transplanting this here, I'll take a picture and show you guys what is up. So there you go. He's been Van Gogh'd, but we're going to get him back on the road. So anyway, there you go. Hope everybody's having a good day. See ya.